Hello, friends, and welcome to the Cinemondo podcast, trailer reaction flavor.
Yes.
We're going to talk about a movie today from another country.
Ah.
A trailer from another country.
About another country,
It's called The Northman, and it's co-written and directed by Robert Eggers of The Witch and The Lighthouse. So he's a very talented guy. He co-wrote it with the Icelandic poet and novelist Jon Sigurdsson, and so co-written by him. And it's an amazing cast: Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Björk, Willem Dafoe, Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman, Bill Skarsgård, Claes Bang. Incredible. So
there's two Skarsgårds for the price of one.
Skarsgårds,
wow.
One Björk. Okay.
One Björk.
How come they didn't ask me to be in this movie? Everybody else.
Are you a Skarsgård?
Oh yeah, no.
Okay then.
Now, behold.
He's here. He's here. Mother! Father is here! The king, milady. The king.
Your fate is set and you cannot escape it. How I've missed you, my son. One day this kingdom will be yours.
Thank you, father. My king.
I don't know if he's ready.
Father! Remember, for whom you shed your last teardrop.
Björk.
Yep.
I can feel now. I will avenge you, father! I will save you, mother! I will kill you, Fiona!
I will avenge you, father. I will save you, mother. I will kill you, Fiona.
Why would he stow away to such a hellish place?
To find what was stolen from me.
And what is that?
The kingdom. You must choose between kindness for your kin or hate for your enemies.
Your strength breaks men's bones. I have the cunning to break their minds.
And night by night, we will carry out my pledge of vengeance. I will avenge you, father.
I will avenge you, father.
I will save you, mother.
I will save you, mother.
I will kill you, Fiona.
Wow. Okay.
That looks pretty good.
That looks really intense.
He's such a good director. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to tell in a trailer, but he has such a style in his previous films. You don't sense that so much because this looks like a big epic. Reminds.
It still has that dark kind of wet.
Yes.
I mean, all of his movies seem to have this sort of dark, primitive grittiness. It feels like it's been a lot of rain.
And a bit of mystery in there too. It looks like there's some supernatural stuff going on a couple of times in there, or some mysterious, visionary, psychedelic kind of things happening. Like with the Lighthouse, the Lighthouse was basically set in reality, but then there were these moments of like, whoa, what am I seeing?
Right.
It just looks like it looks like Kathy was talking earlier about the Viking show. That's on the History Channel, and of course the Game of Thrones reference. That's always a reference with things that kind of old times, medieval folks fighting with swords and stuff. And kingdoms, and my son, and you will inherit, and I will get vengeance, and all that kind of stuff. And it looks like one of those movies that I would really like.
Well, the cast is incredible, and it looks brutal. And he has a like Kathy said, he has a feel to his movies. I mean, The Lighthouse and The Witch are two very nobody's made movies like that. I think this is looking like a bigger production, bigger stars, bigger stuff. but it might have the same sense that he brings, and he co-wrote it, so it looks really good.
Yeah,
I was a big fan of the Vikings TV series on History Channel, and it looks very, very similar. And in fact, I was kind of looking at it thinking, I wonder if this is sort of almost more History Channel Vikings than it wants to be, especially just the whole revenge for the father. You know, in Vikings, the main character is Travis Fimmel, who was amazing because he's so quirky and weird, and he always seemed like he was just a little bit off, like he was not quite he was very spontaneous in whatever he did, no matter what it was. And so even if it was some kind thing he did, which you never really trusted him, or if it was a brutal thing he did, it always sort of came out of nowhere. But that what made him such a compelling character playing Ragnar. You know, he's great. And then they had these incredible cast in that too. They had some, great female characters. And this looks the same, like where you have like the king and the queen, and of course, someone's gonna be gunning for that, and then you have to get the revenge on that, because the Viking, it's funny how much we hear about Vikings, but they weren't really around that long. There's not much history. They didn't write anything down. That's another thing too. Vikings didn't write. So their history is sort of written by other people, talking about what they think they did in their invasions.
And there's such a myth to it, it's just Nordic myth.
I think that's why we're so compelled to learn about them, because we just don't know that much, really. We just sort of know the sort of cliches and the tropes, but I'm hoping this movie's going to kind of go a little deeper, even though it does look like it's kind of doing a lot of mythology and kind of fantastical, qualities that a lot of these do. But
I think that's the director's sort of calling card. He kind of brings that otherworldly vibe to his films, and
the great choice
is the word. Yeah,
that doesn't
great choice for director.
Like realistic. So, and do you have some posters to show us?
I do. There's only one poster.
Okay.
And I think I'm wondering if this doesn't have the billing, even though it has Egger's name at the bottom. So I think it's probably a teaser. It doesn't come out till April, so there's probably gonna be another poster coming up. But I like the sort of epic feel of this. Sort of showing, the Vikings did a lot of exploring, and they, that was part of their. They were kind of transient. They like to go, and a lot of Vikings, settled in some of these places. They kind of went there, and I think that's sort of what happened to the Vikings mostly, is they kind of dispersed, and then they just were absorbed into other cultures and countries. But this looks pretty epic. It looks like, I'm assuming Skarsgård is the son in the beginning who's going to avenge his father, and I guess Nicole Kidman's character maybe was kidnapped. They're trying to save the mother, I guess. A little flash of Björk in there. I like that they're actually casting Scandinavian type actors in this.
Yes,
it was pretty interesting.
I like Claes Bang, who was in the Dracula series from a few years ago. He's such an interesting actor, and he plays obviously the bad guy in this one. So it looks good. The Northman
looks really interesting, and I've missed the Vikings, and I think I was telling you guys before that I love the Vikings so much. It's such a well done series, but it's you get so attached to these great characters that we have yet to bring ourselves to watching the last season, because I just don't want to see what happens to these people. I know it's going to be terrible because the deaths on the show are just brutal and sudden and just nasty, and so you just know I don't want to see these characters I like die like that. And it looks like a lot of similar stuff going on in this film. That's my point.
Maybe a little more surreal or something. Like
maybe
goes into those other surreal realms, I think, a bit.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So it looks really good, and I love Alexander Skarsgård. Who doesn't?
Yeah, coming out April 8th, so it's a few months away, but the trailer looks good, and we can't wait. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and thanks for watching as always.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.